Let's dive in today about what no means to you and how understanding what no means to you, how it can actually open up the way that you view conversations you have with people when they say no to you, what you're making that mean, what you can do to move forward, a different thought you could have about it, all the good stuff. So let's first of all explore about no. We hear no all the time. Now, if you are in any kind of sales business type of thing or working with people, you probably hear no a lot, I would assume. And the interesting thing about no is that if you look at little kids, they say no a lot to everybody. And they don't even second think it. Like if they don't want something, they're going to tell you no. But if they do want something, they're really good at telling you yes. And that is where I think we start to differ between adulthood and child. So a child will say yes if they really like something, and they will say no if they really don't like something. Like to them, it's very black or white. But as an adult, we start to see things differently. We've expanded our horizons. We start to see other scenarios that happen in our life, and we collect data from that. And so, no doesn't always exactly mean no. And yes doesn't always exactly mean yes. So there's always hidden undertones, hidden thoughts that can be derived when somebody says no or yes to you. So sometimes we don't really know what people really want. And that's kind of probably maybe even the same for you. There might be times in your life that you said yes to something and what you really wanted to say was no, but you said yes anyways and you left and thought, why did I say yes to that? And there's other times when you've said no and you're like, actually, I really didn't have enough information. I don't know why I said no. So there's those moments as well. So for today's video, I want to explore no. I want to explore when we hear no from people and what we can maybe learn from no's. Because when it comes to no, when people say no to us, we can start to take it personally as though it's like an attack on ourselves. Like, well, what did I do? Why are you saying no to me? Instead of realizing that they're saying no to what we're offering them, right? There's a difference between what we offer and what they're saying no to and who we are as an individual. Now, sometimes we get a little bit of blurred vision in that scenario. So we think that what we offer is who we are, even if we're like a service type industry, like for me, right? I'm a coach, so it's a service industry. We can see people as saying no as though that's rejecting us, as opposed to they're rejecting what we're offering because maybe it's not a fit for them. Maybe it's not the right information. Maybe they don't have enough information, right? Maybe they're not ready to say yes yet. And so in that case, we can kind of get it blurred a little bit. We start to think that people said no to us and we get personally kind of offended by it, or we feel like something's gone wrong. Like, what did I do wrong? And so we start to question ourselves a lot when people might say no to us. And so when that kind of starts to happen, we can kind of find ourselves spiraling when it comes to no's. We start to make it mean something in the sense that it's us personally that they are saying no to. They're attacking us personally. Now, there might be situations where somebody's saying no and they are saying no specifically because they don't want to work with you. Now, whether or not that's true or not is actually up to you. You get to decide what their no means. And I want to explore what I mean by that. So when it comes to no, like I said, we might have heard before that there can be that we just didn't get enough information or they're not ready yet. And I want to talk about that in a sense. I was actually talking to my brother not too long ago. And my brother is a business coach and he coaches people that are looking at becoming health coaches. So he coaches them on the business level in their health coaching business. And one of the things that he does is he'll do a 3-way call with a current health coach that's wanting to bring on a health coach. And during that call, there is usually a scenario where it can be that, what about people saying no? Like, I've told these people about it, but they're saying no to this. What's going on with that, scenario? What can I do? So they're kind of wanting to get some information of what can I do to better so that I don't get as many no's. Because sometimes, right, we want to stop the no's. We don't want as many no's. And one of the things that he says is that, well, normally they're saying no because they haven't been given enough information or it's just not their time yet. So you just keep on loving on them, right? You keep on giving them information. You keep on sending them stuff if they are okay with still receiving that. And when I heard him talk about that on a call that he did, it was interesting because I've heard that too, right? So for me, I remember times where I was told that, and I would think, okay, that means I just need to give more information. I just need to be able to be more diligent with what I'm doing going forward. And then maybe eventually they might say yes. But what was interesting is when I believed that, it made it feel like they were a number to me as opposed to a person or relationship that I was wanting to grow in. It was more like they were just this number of somebody in my life. And that didn't sit well with me because I wanted to connect with people. I wanted to communicate and connect. And that's why I'm in business. I want to make relationships with other people and network with people around me. And so for me, that was always kind of that little bit of a feeling like, so I would go after it, right? And if they said no, I would ask if I could give more information and I would send them more information. But part of that scenario, which is interesting, is that I was missing out on a connection with myself in order to connect more with them. Because I was starting to look at them as a number. They said no, on to the next. They say no, on to the next, but I still feed them information. But it wasn't like I was connecting with them. So when I talked to my brother, when he had said this, I asked him, I said, well, why do you believe that people say no? Like, what do you think when somebody tells you no? And what he said kind of opened me up to understand that there is a bigger connection that we might need to make with no. And he says, when people say no to me, what I believe is that they just don't trust me yet. And so I've got to give them more information to build trust with them. It's up to me to build that trust. It's not up to them to build that trust. They just don't trust me. So now it's up to me to build it. So when you believe that thought, like when he's believing that thought, he is giving them more information. He is connecting with them, but he's doing it on more of a personal level, whether he was consciously or subconsciously, right, doing that. His belief, what he believed no meant, was that they just don't trust me yet. So I want to develop that trust with them and connect with them. So he believed that, and they weren't a number anymore. They were a person at the other end. And so he was going after with information because he wanted to build that trust. So when somebody says no to us, it's what we decide to make that mean that actually will drive us towards connecting more with people or pull us back. So if we believe they're saying no and it has something to do with us, we might isolate ourselves. We might not share with them more information. We might go into self-sabotage and think, well, what's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? Instead of moving forward. But see, my brother in his situation, what he believes is that he is got to build trust with them. They might not trust me yet, so I need to build that relationship, which gives him bigger connection as to why he would move forward with this individual, why he would want to connect with them. Because when it comes to connecting with people, when people are saying no to us, when we take it personal, right, we step away and we don't want to be any part of it, or we look at them as a number and we just got to go through the numbers. And so again, we're not really connecting with them, right? We're disconnecting with ourselves in the first one. We're not connecting with them in the next one because they're just a number. But in the third way of looking at it, when we start to see that, oh, I'm believing that they're saying no because I haven't built that trust with them yet, and I want to build that trust, then we're connecting with them as an individual. They're not just a number anymore. They're actually somebody who matters to us. And then we are going to choose to reach out to them. So when somebody says no to us, it really depends on how we choose to view that no. And like I just shared, we can either view that no as meaning something about us, and so we take it personally, we isolate, we don't connect with them, or we can look at it as though as no is a number, that, oh, they're just saying no right now, I just need to give them more information. Or we can look at the no as, oh, they don't trust me yet, and I need to build that trust with them. Those are different ways in which we can view no in our lives. And I find that when you start to explore why it is that you're seeing no the way you are when it's showing up in your life, and you acknowledge it and just see it for what it is, and then you decide, what do I want to believe about this no? How do I want to show up going forward? What matters most to me when it comes to connecting with this individual or building a relationship with them? And those questions that you start to invoke in yourself can help you connect more truthfully and fully to people in your life. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this content when it comes to no's in our lives. If you did enjoy this content and you are interested in maybe exploring more and getting coached on something in your life, because I love coaching people that are going through transitions in their life, right? Changes are coming up. I love coaching on change because change is when we're open to new possibilities, and coaching's a perfect time to start to introduce that into your life. And so if you are going through any kind of transition in your life right now, reach out to me and book your free discovery call. I'd love to connect with you, and I look forward to hearing and seeing from you soon. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.